Hey everyone, Ben Detweiler here, and I'm at the District Science Fair, and we are going to check out some of the kids' projects. So let's go take a look. Okay, so what is your name, sweetie?
Ned.
Okay, and what was your science fair project about?
It's about how water moves through ciliary veins.
And what were some of the things that you learned?
That how capillary action is the same thing from ciliary veins and our veins.
And did you have a lot of fun with your project?
Yes.
What was your favorite part?
The favorite part is when we were getting everything set up.
All right, well thanks for talking to me.
You're welcome.
So what is your name?
Dominique.
And what was your science fair project about?
Does color water change the color of a carnation?
Okay, and what were you trying to find out?
If color water absorbs the colored water and changes the carnation.
And what were your findings?
That color water does change the color of a carnation.
And what was your favorite part?
Just looking at the flowers and seeing the color.
All right, thanks. So what is your name?
My name's Tyler Cairns.
All right, and what was your science fair project about?
My science fair project is about finding out which type of beverage discolors and stains your teeth the most out of tea, coffee, and cola.
And what were your findings?
All my findings were that the cola actually stained each hollowed out egg the most because of the phosphoric acid that was in it.
And what was your favorite part about the project?
My favorite part of the project is to see what were the turnouts for each of these beverages because I didn't know what to expect.
Did you find any weird findings that you wouldn't expect?
Yeah, because I did a little bit of research and I found out most people would actually think it's the tea that does the most because of the tannic acid that's in it. But when I saw the cola, I assumed that, and well, that's what I had for my hypothesis. I assumed that was the main thing that stains your teeth the most out of those beverages.
Well, thanks for talking to me.
Thank you. And by the way, this was after 3 days.
Wow. So what is your name?
Patricia.
All right, and what was your science fair project about?
My project was about does temperature affect the bounce height of a tennis ball?
And what were some of your findings?
That the tennis balls in the microwave bounced higher than any other tennis balls for all 3 trials, and the ones in the freezer bounced the lowest for all 3 trials.
And why do you think that?
It has to do with the molecules on the inside because when the molecules get hot, they separate, which lets them bounce higher, and the ones in the freezer, they get compact and get close together, and it makes them have less bounce.
And what was your favorite part about the project?
Dropping the tennis balls.
All right, well, thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
So what is your name?
Nicole Henry.
And what was your science fair project about?
It was about, so my friend and I made a paper airplane, and we wanted to see if the forced drag, and the forced drag is something that stops a paper airplane.
And what were some of your findings?
So we found out that our hypothesis was correct, and our hypothesis was that an airplane without drag would go a farther distance than a plane with it.
And were there any findings that you thought were surprising?
No, because the force says it stops paper airplane, so it was kind of obvious.
And what was your favorite part of the project?
To do it with my friend, because we don't really see each other that much, like after school.
All right, so what is your name?
My name is Severity.
And what was your project about?
It was about rusting nails.
And what were some of your findings?
I found that soda rusted the nail the most out of water, salt water, apple juice, and soda.
And why do you think that that was the case?
Because there was oxygen and liquid in there, and you need oxygen and liquid to form rust.
And what was your favorite part about doing your project?
I liked it because I found out which liquid was the most corrosive.
All right, so what is your name?
Owen Wright.
And what was your science fair project about?
Centripetal force.
And what were some of your findings?
That weight affects centripetal force.
Okay, and what was your your favorite part of completing the project?
Swinging the things around my head.
And what did you have to do to complete your experiment?
I had to analyze my data and make the board.
All right, so what is your name?
Hi, my name is Jaden.
And what is your science fair project about?
It's called How Far Will It Fly? It's about if a plane will fly if it experiences more or less drag.
And what were some of your findings?
That if you add drag to the plane, then it will start to go straight to the ground because when you throw the plane, the air will start to hit against these tabs and then it'll start to fall because the air pressure is pushing against it.
And what was the hardest part about completing your project?
I'm not sure. The project seemed like a pretty easy step because our teacher was with us there to explain us the things that we have to do to finish the project.
And what was your favorite part?
I think my favorite part was doing it with my friends. It was very nice, and I think I liked that it was actually very thrilling and exciting that drag could like make the plane go so far down and like immediately like just fall to the ground. And it was really thrilling.
All right, so what is your name?
Maya Matthews.
And what was your science fair project about?
What to do to make more popcorn kernels pop.
And what were your findings?
That adding water to popcorn kernels makes them more moisturized. Adding air holes to it makes them make less pop.
And what was the best part?
That the water that made the more popcorn kernels pop was my idea, and I was right.
All right, so what was your science fair project about?
My science fair project was to see which battery lasts the longest between store brand, Duracell, and Energizer.
And what was your procedure?
I got a flashlight. I had 3 flashlights, and I put each battery in a flashlight, and I turned the flashlights on at the same time and left them on to see, and whichever one turned out was the one that didn't work.
And which one ended up working best?
Store brand battery.
And how long did it last?
It lasted 37 hours and 37 minutes.
Great. Well, what was the most challenging part of your project?
Checking it every hour.
And what was the most fun part?
I just love doing the board. That's when you get to be creative.
So what is your name?
Sauce Mister?
And what was your hypothesis? Like, what were you trying to find out?
Concentration?
So what is your name?
Samantha Doutweiler.
And what was your science fair project about?
It's about basically what the science of fudge is, how the temperature affects the cooling and stuff. Yeah.
And what was your hypothesis?
It was if the temperature was decreased, then you would have a lot smoother texture and stuff.
And what were your findings?
My findings were that the refrigerated one was more appealing to the mouth and to the sight, texture and smell. Also, that the room temperature was very gritty and sandpaper-like.
And what was the most challenging part of your project?
Probably is making the fudge itself, because it does take a lot of time and you need precise temperatures.
And what was your favorite part about it?
Probably the eating of it.
So what is your name?
Dominic.
And what was your science fair project about?
What size and shape parachute has the longest hang time?
And what was your hypothesis?
I think that the large circle parachute will have the longest hang time because it covers the most amount of surface area.
And what were your findings?
The larger circle, my hypothesis correct, had the longer hang time, and the small rectangular parachute had the worst hang time.
And what was the most challenging part of completing your project?
The weather, a lot of snow, and it was difficult. I felt like the weather had an effect on the hang time of the parachutes.
And what was your favorite part?
The experimenting. I thought it was cool to see how each could react to the weather and how much hang time it could from the weight and stuff.
All right, so what is your name?
My name is Kaylee.
And what was your science fair project about?
I was trying to figure out which hair product is better in keeping your hair in place.
And what were some of your findings?
Well, I found out that mousse didn't really help your hair because it wasn't that strong as gel, so it didn't really help you. And hairspray didn't go through your hair as well as gel.
All right, and what was the most challenging part of completing your project?
Trying not to go outside and mess it up.
And what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was trying out different hairsprays and seeing which one would work.
All right, so as you can see, we've gone around and talked to some kids about their science fair projects. I learned a lot. I know one of my favorite projects was about popcorn. And so hopefully you found a favorite project too. Now back to the Eagle's Eye.